Senator Peters.
Mr. Chairman, I defer my questions and recognize Senator Hassan.
Thank you so much, Ranking Member Peters, and Mr. Chair, thank you as well for this hearing. To our witnesses, congratulations on your nominations, and to your families as well. I want to start with a question to Mr. Walk. It's a simple, straightforward question that I already asked Mr. Bell at a previous hearing, so I just want you to answer this one, Mr. Walk. If directed by the President to take action that would break the law, would you follow the law or follow the President's directive?
Senator, I appreciate that question. Regardless of who were to ask otherwise, I will faithfully abide by the United States Constitution and the laws established thereunder.
I appreciate that. To both of you, shortly after taking office, President Trump illegally fired 17 inspectors general, including the inspectors general for the Departments of Health and Human Service and Agriculture, the same inspectors general that you are now nominated to replace. In doing so, the president not only broke the law, but he also purposely removed the people charged with preventing fraud, waste, and abuse in our government. So to each of you, and we'll start with you, Mr. Walk, do you support the president's firing of the inspector general who held the position for which you are now nominated?
Senator, the president is entitled to remove inspector generals. I would just add that our former inspector general is a plaintiff in a lawsuit naming USDA as a defendant. As an employee of USDA, I wouldn't be able to answer that.
Well, I'm going to go to Mr. Bell for a minute, and then I want to follow up with both of you. Mr. Bell, do you support the firing of your predecessor, which, by the way, to both of you, a judge has said clearly broke the plain language of the law?
Thank you, Senator, for that question. I wasn't a part of the legal analysis for that decision made by the president, head of the executive branch. I don't know what justification the lawyers provided, but I support the right of the head of the executive branch to remove any employee.
Well, let's be clear that a federal judge looking at the plain language of the statute, which says that the president had to give Congress, I think it's 30 days notice and a reason, and the president didn't do that. So the president broke the law, and I'd like to remind both of you that if confirmed, you'll be taking an oath to uphold the law, and you'll be tasked with being a watchdog over others. Senator Ernst just made the point that we need people to comply with the written laws that Congress writes. So you'll be tasked with being a watchdog over others. So do you support the president breaking the law and illegally firing your predecessors? Yes or no, Mr. Walk?
Senator, again, that matter is in pending litigation, and I can't answer as a
Mr.
government
Bell?
of the.
Senator, I don't have I'm not a constitutional separation of powers expert.
I'm going to go on because I don't have a lot of time and I still
right.
have another couple of questions. But let's just be very clear. There are statutes written in the law. The language is quite plain here. You can read them and you can decide whether you're going to comply with them or not. To each of you, will you commit to continuing any open investigations that were initiated by your predecessor or by your agency's current acting inspector general? Mr. Walk?
Senator, I cannot make the commitment right now just because I don't know what those investigations are, but I would make those kinds of decisions on the merits.
And Mr. Bell?
Senator, I can't commit. I looked at the 223 open investigations on the website of Health and Human Services, and many of them looked interesting. I will commit, if confirmed, to take a close look at all of them and review them on their merits.
You can understand how concerned we are that the President of the United States broke the terms of the statute, fired independent inspectors general, and are replacing them with two people who have partisan backgrounds and who are not committing to either following the law or keeping the investigations that nonpartisans had started. So, Mr. Bell, another question for you. When you testified before the Finance Committee, I asked you about the HHS Office of the Inspector General's ongoing investigation into for-profit methadone clinics. As I previously shared with you, the HHS Office of the Inspector General has found that for-profit methadone clinics are billing Medicare for health care services that patients never received. According to a recent Inspector General report, this scheme is costing taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars, and patients who need addiction treatment are are not getting the care that they were promised. I asked you this question previously. You didn't respond directly, so I'm going to ask you again. As HHS Inspector General, will you continue to investigate whether opioid treatment programs are fraudulently billing the federal government for care that they never provided to patients? Yes or no?
Senator, you and I discussed that in our private meeting, and I told you then, and I'll tell you now, I'm committed to eliminating waste, fraud, and abuse in those programs. I'd be glad to sit down with you.
So yes or no, will you continue that investigation?
I will continue to investigate waste, fraud, and abuse. I'm not familiar with the details of that investigation, but I will become familiar with them and would be happy to sit down with you and advance that cause as appropriate.
Senator Moody.